Bank of America is now offering a zero down payment loan program that plans to shake up the housing market.
Hooray! Yippee!
This program is targeting some of the people that are having the most trouble becoming first-time homeowners for a variety of reasons, including credit scores, closing costs, and much more. So I'm excited to talk to you about this today because this loan program is dedicated at removing some of the biggest hurdles that prevent so many Americans from owning their first home. So in this video, we're going to discuss who is eligible for the zero down payment loan option, what are the qualifications, and what areas are eligible for it. We're also going to discuss some of the other options that Bank of America provides in case you can't take advantage of this program, including some homebuyer grants that you won't be required to repay. Hi, my name is Trenton Ward, and if you enjoyed this content, let me know by hitting the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date with the latest real estate news, tips, and tricks. So let's start off by discussing who is eligible for this loan program. The official name of this loan program is the Community Affordable Loan Solution. And the key word here that I want to focus on is the community portion because I think it's causing a lot of confusion on this part. This loan program targets the communities of African Americans and Latinos in selected metro areas. Now, in the context of this loan program, the communities are the neighborhoods that are predominantly African American and or Latino. Since in some contexts, communities can mean a group of people, some are misunderstanding the true target audience Bank of America is trying to assist. And just to illustrate this point, here's a news release from Bank of America that states anyone from any race or ethnicity is welcome to apply. And to give you more context, here are a few reasons why Bank of America has decided to focus on the communities of these two ethnicities. According to the National Association of Realtors, Black home ownership stood at just 43.4% at the end of 2020. And sadly, that's even lower than it was just a decade ago. Hispanic home ownership actually hit a record high recently with a home ownership rate of 51.1%, but that's still well below the white home ownership rate of 72.1%. This highlights nearly a 30% home ownership gap, which is a staggering amount. There are so many benefits to home ownership that we could get into. If you would like to learn more about some of these benefits, such as having the additional tax write-offs or using your equity in your home to pay for large expenses, check the description below for a video that I created on that topic. Now let's get into the qualifications for this program. So for starters, you need to be a first-time home buyer. If you've owned a property before, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't qualify though. To be considered a first-time home buyer generally means you haven't owned a home within 2 to 3 years. So for instance, if you sold a home to relocate to another area but you decided to rent first, you still could be considered a first-time home buyer. If you're in this boat, you should definitely check to see if you still can meet the qualifications for being a first-time home buyer so that you can take advantage of this loan type. The loan program also addresses the hurdle of credit as well. Instead of the traditional credit scores, first-time home buyers will be evaluated based on their history of making timely payments for rent, utilities, phone services, and auto insurance. This will definitely help a lot of people qualify for financing in these areas, but the biggest contribution will be the down payment and closing cost assistance. According to Boston College Law School professor Patricia McCoy, the biggest obstacle to buying a home for low and moderate income home buyers is having enough cash for down payments and closing costs. That's why Bank of America said that it will make a down payment on behalf of borrowers between $10,000 and $15,000 depending on the city. The loan program is only rolling out to a few cities first, but they do have plans to expand later. The cities they're targeting will be Charlotte, Detroit, Los Angeles, Miami, and here in Dallas, Texas. You will also need to complete a homebuyer certification course in order to qualify for this loan. Now, if you aren't able to take advantage of this loan program because of the qualifications or location requirements, all hope isn't lost. Bank of America still has a few other programs that you may qualify for so that you can get your first home. So next we're going to talk about some of their home grant programs and also a low down payment option. The first grant program we're going to discuss is the America's Grant Program. This is a grant program that will give you up to $7,500 to go towards your closing costs. This grant can only be used for non-recurring closing costs though. For instance, things like taxes and home insurance wouldn't be eligible expenses for this grant. On the other hand, things like title insurance, recording fees, and closing costs associated with buying down your interest rate could be eligible. One of the best things about this grant program is that the money it provides you doesn't have to be repaid. The next grant program we're going to discuss is the down payment grant. This program offers you up to 3% of the home's purchase price to go towards your down payment. The cap they set on this down payment amount is $10,000. So if you're trying to buy a home under $333,000, you can apply to get the full 3%. But if you're over it, you will want to shoot for hitting that $10,000 cap. Now, just like their other home buyer assistance programs, you will have to be located in certain areas. You will also be required to complete some sort of home buyer education program as well. The good news about this one is that it doesn't have to be repaid and gives you even more than the America's Home Grant program we just spoke about. Okay, so the last topic we're going to discuss is the low down payment option. This program will only require you to pay 3% down on your home. And if you combine it with the down payment grant program, you could potentially eliminate your down payment altogether. This is even lower than FHA loans, which are the most popular option when it comes to first-time home buyers. The lowest FHA loan down payment option requires you to have a credit score of at least 580 and a down payment of 3.5%. To learn more about FHA loans, you can check out this video right here, and I'll also put it in the description below. For the 3% down payment option with Bank of America, you will be required to pay for mortgage insurance, but it's said to be at a more affordable price compared to conventional mortgage insurance. As of right now, the max amount they will lend using this program will be considerably lower than compared to FHA in some areas. The maximum amount they are going up to will be right over $647,000 for the 3% loan option. For most of the country, this will be able to get you a very nice home that could meet all of your needs. But in our higher cost of living areas like New York and California, they will have a 5% down payment option that will go right above $970,000. Since the FHA increases limits to over $1 million in 2023, you might want to get a side-by-side comparison of these two programs if you are looking closer to the top of these limit amounts. Okay, if you've enjoyed the content, let me know by hitting the like button. If you'd like to stay up to date with the latest real estate news, tips, and tricks, consider subscribing. If you have any real estate needs, including how to get started with this process in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information will be in the description below. And until next time, peace.